There's good. Then there's sticky, sweet, spicy, double your napkins, don't even share with your own best friend. General So Good. Introducing General Soul Sauce for a limited time at Buffalo Wild Wings.
Let's do it.
Come on, Jack, get me.
Ooh, nice play. All right, you go. There you go.
So cute. At Ally, we're helping millions save more for the things that matter most to them. Whatever you're saving for, we're all better off with an Ally.
Get back to work.
Did you know that your garage door is the single biggest object on your home? So if you're looking to add some curb appeal, it's a perfect place to start.
And right now, you can get 12 months same as cash. At Dover & Company, we carry the area's largest selections from top manufacturers. And don't forget to ask about our openers and accessories. We have it all, from battery backup, remotes, keypads, and OHD Anywhere that allows you to control and monitor your garage door from anywhere with your smartphone.
Dover & Company, your hometown garage door company since 1936.
So you're banana bread experts.
At this point. I'm Annie. I'm Morgan. And this is our banker, Dennis.
Hi, I'm Dennis. They came in and were looking for financing. They needed some seed money to get the business going.
I was with him when I got the news that we had gotten into our dream retailer. I said, you allowed us to get here.
I live vicariously through all my customers, and this was just incredible. I could share in that victory with them.
Sounds like you made that victory possible.
I had a little something to do with it.
Granite City Food and Brewery has 2 Michigan locations in Troy and Northville. Serves made-from-scratch food, brews in-house beer, and even has brunch every Sunday from 9 a.m. to 2 p.m. To learn more about their daily specials or to book a private party, visit gcfb.com. Make sure you head over to Granite City in Northville at the corner of 7 Mile and Haggerty, or the Troy location at 16 Mile and I-75.
At Dort Financial Credit Union, we believe in fulfilling our members' dreams and care deeply about supporting our community.
Without amazing partners like Dort Financial Credit Union, we would not be able to do what we do. And that's truly the backbone of our organization, is having those partnerships and community relationships.
From supporting community events to our employee volunteers, we are passionate about giving back to organizations that are important to you and helping make our community a great place to live, work, and play.
Okay, 3, 2, 1, go.
What makes Snyder Financial unique is that we're a family-run financial advisory firm.
Our clients enjoy working with us because we're a family. We understand family and relationships.
We absolutely find joy in building relationships with our clients.
And we really want to help them feel educated and feel empowered with their planning.
The level of service and commitment that we have to our clients, that's what we put above everything else.
Snyder Financial, a proud sponsor of the Flint City Bucks.
Beat Up Sweet Chili Lime Sauce has 3 perfect ingredients. Sweet, chili, lime. People keep telling us sweet isn't an ingredient. How these wings get sweet then? Introducing new sweet chili lime for a limited time at Buffalo Wild Wings.
Every small business has expenses as it grows. Whether you're a farmer, a wedding planner, or anything in between, PFCU can help. With a suite of business services, we can help build your business.
Don't just burn calories, torch those little suckers. Base Camp Fitness Troy, opening up this March, will help you get maximum results in half the time. Our intensity intervals of cardio and strength training will supercharge your calorie burn, all in just 35 minutes. Make sure to lock in our founders rate and claim your 2-week risk-free trial by scanning the QR code on your screen. Base Camp Fitness Troy, located at 443 East Big Beaver Road in Troy, Michigan.
Hi, my name is Paul Tinian. I'm with the Michigan Jaguars. I'd like to welcome all of you to Michigan Jaguars Monthly and thank Jonathan for the invitation to be here on MSN. Just wanted to let everybody know that this will be an inside look at our club, and every month we'll be providing some new hosts and maybe some new guests that we're inviting in to get a better idea of what's going on in and around.
Welcome to Michigan Stars Elite Podcast provided by Michigan Soccer Network. My name is Erwin van Elst. I'm the Director of Coaching for Michigan Stars Elite, and I'm here today with our General Manager, Dan Chun.
Thank you for stopping by the Michigan Soccer Network. To not miss out on any of the action, all you have to do is simply hit the subscribe button, and that way you're notified every time we bring new content or go live. Thanks for stopping by.
I'm a husband. I'm a father.
I'm a sister.
I'm a son. I'm a brother.
I'm a daughter. I'm a sister. I'm a referee.
I'm a referee.
I am a referee.
I'm a referee.
The kind of forgotten pillar, right, of sports, right, where like we always talk about it, we always say that the mental edge is the difference because everyone's, athletic, technical, tactical at a certain level, but we don't actually spend a ton of time on it necessarily, right? So, kind of talk to me about that. Do you feel like I can see there being huge benefits to all the kids and all the families from a just socialization and collective mental health standpoint with these conversations? And then also
Are you looking to grow here in 2023? Let the Michigan Soccer Network help you and your restaurant fill more seats. Help you and your law firm get new clients. Help you and your dental practice find more patients. Find more roofing customers this upcoming summer, and to help you and your medical practice find new patients. To learn more or get started, visit MichiganSoccerNetwork.com.
I work in nursing home, I work in the restaurant, and I own my own food truck. And I bank with Huntington. I used to always look at that sign, come on, own your own home. So one day I just said, okay, I'm gonna go talk to the banker. And he didn't tell me, no, it's not possible. He told me anything was possible. And that made me feel good. Hi, I'm Veronica, and this is my banker, Roger. He's awesome. He's a good guy.
On the campus of Kettering University at Atwood Stadium, the march to the 2023 USLW Championship begins. A Heartland Division rematch between Chicago City, the runners-up in the Heartland, and the reigning two-time Heartland Division champions, Minnesota Aurora. Thanks for joining us here on the Michigan Soccer Network, along with Lexi Ayala. I'm Jake Griffith. This is the pre-match show. Lexi, this is a fascinating matchup between two teams who have already met twice this season. Minnesota outscoring Chicago City 10-1 across those two matchups, including less than a week ago in Eagan, Minnesota, a 7-0 victory. A lot to clean up for Chicago if they want a chance today.
Chicago City SC didn't have the start that they wanted in the last matchup against Minnesota, so that's why they're changing up a lot of things. I mean, just a couple minutes ago, we received almost a brand new starting lineup. So these are some players that are going to be coming in today that we might not have seen throughout the entire season.
Chicago City 8-3-1 overall this year. They have won 4 of their last 6 matches entering the playoffs. This their maiden voyage into the USLW playoffs. 26 goals scored, allowed 16. We mentioned that 7-0 loss just days ago to Minnesota. They do have 5 clean sheets to their credit this season, Lexi. However, the question is, which keeper will start in goal?
That's right. I mean, we've seen Kaiser throughout the entire season, and she's done a really good job. We got the starting lineup today, and we might see a new face in Bella Schaub. So I'm really interested to see what she can bring and what some of these new players coming into this starting lineup can change for this Chicago City SC team. As for Minnesota
Aurora, they have unquestionably been the most consistently dominant team in the USLW since joining the league last season. 25-1-1 all-time, including playoffs. They went 2-1-0 last year in the playoffs, finishing as runners-up to Tormenta FC South Georgia. They have one goal in mind, and that is to get back to the USLW Championship.
Absolutely right. Minnesota Aurora FC's head coach, Nicole Lukic, said we're definitely excited to be here, but she says because we're playing a team that we've already seen before, we have one of two options. We can play and get ahead right away, put them away early, or we can just come of this thinking as, you know, oh, it's just another game against a team that we've seen before. That's not how they're going to come into it.
Minnesota has been fantastic at home, but make no mistake about it, they have been equally as good away from the state of Minnesota. 12-0-0 all-time outside of the land of 10,000 lakes. They are here in Flint, Michigan, 82 degrees Fahrenheit here at Atwood Stadium. Some rain initially in the forecast, looking like it might hold off just a bit, but wind could be a factor into today's match. Nicole Lukic did say that this pitch plays similarly to TCO Stadium back in Eagan. We will head to break here on the Michigan Soccer Network. When we return, starting 11 and the kickoff of this first match of the USLW playoffs.
There's good. Then there's sticky, sweet, spicy, double your napkins, don't even share with your own best friend. General So Good. Introducing General Soul Sauce for a limited time at Buffalo Wild Wings.
At Dort Financial Credit Union, we believe in fulfilling our members' dreams and care deeply about supporting our community.
Without amazing partners like Dort Financial Credit Union, we would not be able to do what we do. And that's truly the backbone of our organization, is having those partnerships and community relationships.
From supporting community events to our employee volunteers, we are passionate about giving back to organizations that are important to you and helping make our community a great place to live, work, and play.
What makes Snyder Financial unique is that we're a family-run financial advisory firm.
Our clients enjoy working with us because we're a family. We understand family and relationships.
We absolutely find joy in building relationships with our clients.
And we really want to help them feel educated and feel empowered with their planning.
The level of service and commitment that we have to our clients, that's what we put above everything else.
Snyder Financial, a proud sponsor of the Flint City Bucks.
Don't
just burn calories, torch those little suckers. Base Camp Fitness Troy, opening up this March, will help you get maximum results in half the time. Our intensity intervals of cardio and strength training will supercharge your calorie burn, all in just 35 minutes. Make sure to lock in our founders rate and claim your 2-week risk-free trial by scanning the QR code on your screen. Base Camp Fitness Troy, located at 443 East Big Beaver Road in Troy, Michigan.
Granite City Food and Brewery has 2 Michigan locations in Troy and Northville. Serves made-from-scratch food, brews in-house beer, and even has brunch every Sunday from 9 a.m. to 2 p.m. To learn more about their daily specials or to book a private party, visit gcfb.com. Make sure you head over to Granite City in Northville at the corner of 7 Mile and Haggerty, or the Troy location at 16 Mile and I-75.
The opening round of the USLW playoffs begins in Flint, Michigan. Chicago City of the Heartland Division takes on their rivals Minnesota, the defending 2-time Heartland Division champions. I'd like to welcome those of you joining us via YouTube and the Michigan Soccer Network, and also those of you watching in the Twin Cities on Fox 9. This is the USLW playoffs. Minnesota Aurora, an unblemished 12-0-0 mark, takes on Chicago City 8-3-1. Along with Lexi Ayala, I'm Jake Griffith. Thanks for joining us here from Kettering University and Atwood Stadium. We mentioned it in our pre-match show, Lexi, a fascinating matchup. Not often do you see a matchup in the opening round of the playoffs in which two teams have already logged an entire season series amongst each other, but that's what we have today. This is the third meeting this year between Chicago and Minnesota.
And not only that, but the last meeting between these two teams was pretty chippy. It was a physical game, and the coaches told us that, you know, I think it was so soon ago that some of these players might bring some of that emotion into this game, so be expected to see a really physical matchup with these players having a chip on their shoulder play out today.
Minnesota undefeated all time against Chicago City, 5-0-0. This season alone outscoring City SC 10-1. They have 2 clean sheets against Chicago City within their 5-match span. As we take a look at our 2023 playoff bracket, this the Central Conference playoffs, but elsewhere in what has been such a wild ride all year long, looking at some of the rest of these playoff qualifiers. NC Courage U23, who have been fantastic. They host around in Cary, North Carolina. Eagle FC hosting the Eastern Conference playoffs, and San Francisco Glens and Cal Storm co-hosting the Western Conference playoffs. It really feels, Lexi, like anyone could win the USL Championship this year.
And this was the only conference that some of these teams already had a bid into the playoffs before it got down to it. So anything can happen in this league. A lot of roster changes can just change the game, every game.
4 playoff fixtures set to be played today around the USLW. This the earliest of them. Later today, we will see Flint City AFC, the hosts, taking on Indy 11, the champions out of the Valley Division. That's later on tonight at 7 Eastern. The winner of this contest will take on the winner of Flint City and Indy 11. And now a chance to shout out our sponsors. This match brought to you by Ally Financial. When you watch the game, you change the game. Also by Granite City, eat good eats, drink good drinks, have good times. Buffalo Wild Wings, wings, beer, and sports. Commercial graphics, creating solutions to your graphic design problems. Ollie Live Sports, measure what matters. Dort Financial, fulfilling dreams. Soccer Parenting Association, let's make youth soccer better. And Trivelloni Asset Management, fully independent fee, only financial advice. We are moments away from the opening kick here at Atwood Stadium between Chicago City and Minnesota Aurora. City SC in the powder blue with the white shorts. Minnesota in the traditional home all midnight blue. Minnesota is the top seed in this Central Conference playoffs. 36 points in the Heartland Division table this year, two better than how they finished a season ago.
To see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose brush stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave.
Whew, that was beautiful. Got some pipes on her, and you know, if I could sing, maybe I wouldn't be a broadcaster. I'd be out there singing the national anthem with her. That was beautiful.
Nobody wants to hear me sing, I can tell you that much.
Me either. I wish.
Let's take a look at our match officials today. Carrie Martinez will be the center official, Taylor Heemstra, Amy Willing, and Ashley Vrindenberg rounding out the officiating crew, and all female officiating crew today. That is significant because that's something that during the regular season, all pre-professional soccer matches that took place in the state of Michigan had all female officiating crews. Very important as we continue to break down barriers, so to speak, in professional and pre-professional soccer.
Very cool. I love it. Girl power, and you're even seeing a lot of the coaching staffs start to not just utilize and incorporate more women on their staff, but you see some all-female staff, so it's pretty cool.
One of those being Minnesota, who brought every coach back from their inaugural season. Nicole Lukic in her second year at the helm of Minnesota Aurora, 25-1-1 as the head coach of Minnesota, the former University of Wisconsin-Milwaukee alum, a four-time Horizon League champion with the Panthers. Roaming the touchline for Chicago City, Lakeisha Gums in her first year with City SC, the former Leicester City women's reserve coach. It's something we talked about on the broadcast in Egan, but it's important to bring back up what Gums has done this year in restructuring the roster, reinfusing Chicago City with high-level Division I talent. I mean, you look Illinois State, Illinois, Northwestern, UIC, NC State. In goal today, Bella Shop, the Brown Bear, I should say, Ivy League honorable mention. They have brought in a lot of high-level D1 talent.
Absolutely. Northwestern, Pittsburgh, North Carolina State, a lot of players where Chicago City SC used to kind of just pull up from their youth divisions and the programs under them. Now they're actually trying to search for that depth and that balance. So I'm really excited for the future of this Chicago program.
Chicago City making their first ever playoff appearance prior to joining the USLW for the 2022 season and beyond. They were a part of the WPSL, did not qualify for the playoffs. It was also their best finish this season, second in the table. Best table finish since the 2019 campaign. They finished as division runners-up to Chicago Red Stars 2 that year in the Lake Michigan division. And the opposite goal for Minnesota, Amanda Pourball, an 0.37 goals against average, 750 save percentage. Pourball has logged 734 minutes in net this season. The whistle sounds, and the USLW playoffs are underway.
Pourball is who head coach Lukic also said has kind of been her dark horse this year. She's had some big shoes to fill, with Sarah Fuller being their last goalkeeper out. Pourball has stepped up big.
Minnesota on the front foot early. Del Moral in the box and couldn't head it toward goal. That will be across the end line for a Chicago goal kick. Already, though, you see Minnesota trying to turn those screws early and assert themselves.
The last matchup between Minnesota and Chicago, it took about the entire first half for Minnesota to kind of get in a rhythm and get in their groove, and they wanted to change that today. They wanted to come out strong right away and put them away early.
That punt kick shanked there by Shop. It will be a throw in near side. Langdock will take it. Cat Rapp with a brace last match, whips that ball in, and it's headed away from danger. Hansen keeps it alive. Now here's Wynn. Wynn goes down, ball cleared away. And that is where Kelsey Kafusi will pick up the pieces. Harris.
And a really big key for Chicago here today is to keep the entire team moving on a string up, pushing up together, especially after a clear. You want to be able to get some offense rolling instead of just clear out to Minnesota so that they can restart.
Chicago City losing ground. Here's Miller. Now Soto with it. Soto hounded there by Mariah Wynn. Still fighting off that challenge. Aurora head coach Nicole Lukic told us earlier this week she looked back at the first two matchups and said in both of those matchups, Chicago City did a good job early of making Minnesota uncomfortable. She felt like, especially in that first matchup, those first 30 minutes were very physical, and Minnesota really needed a reset after the half-hour mark.
Yeah, absolutely. It's just been tough for Chicago City SC to keep that bend, don't break mentality. They have it down for the first half of action, but come that second half, it's like Minnesota comes out with a fire that Chicago SC is just not ready for, that they have to be today if they don't want to go home early.
Win, great run, able to win it back. Tried to thread that through to Hansen, and defender coded it well.
Good by Wynn, though. She's one of those players that does the dirty work, does things that other players don't want to do. She's really physical and aggressive, and she's just all over the field.
That ball was searching for Kelsey Ham wearing the captain's armband today. Most times it's been Kennedy Burchell, the Illinois Fighting Illini product, that's been the captain for the Chicago team. Jaime gets past one defender. And couldn't beat the second in Ostrom, as Kafusi will steer it back to poor ball. This is a trademark Minnesota trait. They do like to reset things. Nicole Lukic has talked a lot this year about how Amanda Pourball is probably one of the strongest keepers she's ever worked with her feet. They like to use her almost as an 11th field player.
And I love that strategy by Minnesota and head coach Lukic, because it just pulls the entire back line of Chicago all the way up, giving you a lot more space.
Here's a great ball forward. Del Moro couldn't corral it in. Now Langdock will join the attack. Hansen tied up and couldn't shake free of a challenge. Kafusi will recycle that ball over to Ostrom. No space to move with it.
Definitely expect Chicago to mark up on Hansen. Hansen, a prolific goal scorer. She also had one to go up 4-0 in the last meeting against Chicago. And that was a game that Hansen didn't even start. She came in way late. So Hansen, the second that she gets in a game, she goes.
Wrap back on it now for Minnesota. Asking questions of the Chicago defense early, and Stone will guide it back to Harris. Langdock surveys her options, now hangs that ball high. Wynn was looking for a foul, won't get it outside the box, and it's another goal kick coming for Bella Shop.
Nice ball there. If Wynn would have been able to sneak behind and back cut on her defenders, it could have been an opportunity for a goal there for Minnesota. However, she was just looking for that foul call, which isn't typical of Wynn. She's a physical player who normally isn't fazed by those type of tough plays.
City SC backtracking now, intercepted by Del Moro. Aurora couldn't make anything of it, and now that ball hangs high.
Aurora does sometimes get into a habit of trying to move a little bit too quick. Those one touches are really nice and beautiful when they work well, but if you can bring that ball down and control it before getting the pass off, it'll work a lot better for Aurora.
Rapp tried to slip that through, no one on the receiving end, and Bella Shop will grab that to end the danger.
And Aurora's defense, though, it is hard to stay patient when you're out there and getting near that 18-yard box. You just have it in your blood and your mentality that you want to attack and attack immediately.
This part of our broadcast is brought to you by Granite City Food and Brewery. Granite City Food and Brewery, eat good eats, drink good drinks. Have good times. Visit Troy location at the corner of I-75 and 16 Mile in Troy, or at the corner of 7 Mile and Haggerty in Northville. Chicago City trying to turn on a counterattack here. Good job of connecting passes here for City. Kafusi, though, able to muscle a City player off the ball, and it's out for a Chicago throw.
Chicago City did dodge a bullet just moments ago. It was SC's Casey Castro who had to flip that ball back toward her keeper. Didn't mean to, but it was Bella Shop who was ready for it, cleared it out, and got some things going on the offensive end.
Aurora looking to jumpstart the rush, and that fizzles out. A foul called, though. Here's Del Moral flanked by 2 Chicago players. That goes skittering past the end line, and they say last touch by Del Moral. Another goal kick coming.
Chicago SC is doing a really good job at applying heavy pressure on that right side specifically. Almost every time that Minnesota gets it up the right flank, you see 2 defenders, not just 1, but 2 coming right at you and getting that ball out of there.
A little bit of rain starting to move into the Flint area. That is something that has been in the forecast for most of today. Had held off up until kickoff.
I'm sure as long as no thunderstorms start, the players aren't going to mind. I'm sure it feels really nice for the athletes down on the field.
A little bit of rain, a nice reprieve from the hot weather here in Flint, Michigan.
Cat Rapp looked like she tweaked herself a little bit. She went to go defend and try to steal the ball away, and then started limping away and grabbing near her knee.
That ball lobbed forward, a foot race here. Can Chicago get to it? They cannot. Goal kick coming for Poor Ball. The weather factor is so interesting because anytime wet weather is introduced to the pitch, it does change the way the pitch is played. The ball moves differently than during dry weather. And if this rain continues, that could be something that comes into play as we see this match progress.
Minnesota's head coach, Nicole Lukic, also said that this pitch, though it is similar to TCU, it is less bouncy than TCU. She said that's nice, but we'll see how the rain starts to affect that as this game goes on.
City with the throw, intercepted by Minnesota. Harris will survey options going forward. Tiana Harris, really the big ticket pickup in the offseason for this Aurora team. A former Mac Herman Trophy watch lister at Kent State. Harris this season 4 goals, began her career at Mississippi State, was the MAC Defensive Player of the Year a few seasons ago. Nicole Lukic has lauded her all season long.
Not only head coach Nicole Lukic giving her the props, but I heard you and your broadcast partner coin her the human reset button.
She really is. Danny Foxhoven-Young. I have to give credit where credit is due. Danny Foxhoven-Young came up with that, and it's so true because when Tiana Harris is out on the pitch, she really is like a human reset button for this Minnesota team. Very calm under pressure.
Yeah, and you can just tell when that ball's in Minnesota's back line, everyone's calm, everyone's getting into their positions, getting ready to attack, but there's just this sense of calmness that hits the field when the ball is brought back to reset.
A foul given on the Cat Rapp run. Kafusi will take this. Ball hangs in. Shop has to glove it down.
Nice ball there, though, by Kafusi. Maybe a little too much heat on it. There weren't any offensive players able to get inside and get ahead on it before it went into the goalkeeper.
Keeper's especially interesting as this rain begins to fall even harder now, as this pitch gets even soggier and even the ball starts to get a little more water on it. That does make the job of a goalkeeper even harder because it does open up the potential that balls could slip through even with the gloves on.
Absolutely. I mean, goalkeepers, you got to give them credit. To me, that's the scariest job out there on the field.
Wynn flanked by teammates ahead. Now here's Hansen. Whips that ball in. A little too far in front of a streaking Morgan Stone.
Shoup not taking any chances on that one. Morgan Stone, she loves the headers. She got one in the last matchup for Chicago SC, and I'm sure everyone on Chicago's end remembers that. Nuda get in front of her on the rebound. No second chance opportunities there.
Foot race here between Hansen and Soto. Hansen wins that. Has Rapp. Left off for Wynn and cleared away by Chicago. Still maybe the best looking build-up for Minnesota that we've seen, even though Aurora have seemingly dominated the possession numbers early.
Oh yeah, I started holding my breath right there, especially when it's a Hansen Rapp combo. That's a dynamic duo right there. Two very sneaky, speedy players.
Back top of the box to Langdock. Has a go of it and knocked down again by Shop.
I like that shot, though, by Langdock. She had the space and time to get a clean shot off. Might have been a little far out, especially with all of the rain coming down, maybe even interfering with players' visions right now, but a good opportunity nonetheless. Minnesota also really likes how wide and big the pitch is here. They want to use that as an advantage for Minnesota. Try to get on those flanks, run it wide, and wear out their opponents.
Shop no choice but to just clear that out to take the pressure off. Aurora will have another throw. Minnesota, the #1 team in the USLW, the final power rankings of the year. Del Moro's ball knocked away. Back through, but offside positioning is where Langdock finds herself. Looking, though, at that power ranking, the final one of the year, Minnesota, NC Courage, Glenn's, Tampa Bay United, and Flint City AFC cracking the top 5. Flint City completing a 9-0-3 unbeaten regular season. Some very talented teams in that top 5. And it goes back to what we were saying earlier. It really does feel like potentially this is anyone's championship to win this year.
Absolutely, and wow, the Cinderella story with Flint City AFC. My goodness, last year they sat all the way at the bottom of the division in last place, and this year made some huge coaching changes, added some big-time players to the roster, and won the division. I mean, it sounds like a movie for Flint City. What an awesome season and big improvement that they've had from last year.
Flint City, the second largest win improvement from last year to this year, +7 after going 2-9-1 last year. Only Eagle FC did better this year, +8 after a 3-6-1 campaign last year.
Chicago City not able to string anything together, and especially when it comes to trying to play out of Minnesota's high press. They're not able to really play out of it. They're stuck with nothing to do and just no choice but to clear the ball out and give it back to Minnesota, not able to get any possession time of their own going.
A reminder to enjoy all Buffalo Wild Wings has to offer when you eat in, order, delivery, or pickup. Watch sports, drink beer, and eat wings. Enjoy Buffalo Wild Wings today.
I used to serve there. Back to my old serving days. Good times. A lot of free wings, though. It was good.
Langdock rips one through the middle. Rapp couldn't get to it. Del Moral, though, will clean it up. Lobs that one ahead. Wynn. Left off for Hansen, and a great save made by Shop. The first real test of the young freshman Bella Shop, and she answers the bell to keep it scoreless.
Big time save by Shop, especially with the intimidation factor when you know Hansen's the one running right at your face. It's tough, but a lot of credit to Shop, but still a really good opportunity again for Minnesota Aurora. It's just a matter of time before they are able to capitalize on one of these. Wynn just battling to win those balls, those 50-50 balls, gets in front of it, and a really good pass to connect to Hansen. Just doesn't end with a score into the back of the net.
Aurora will try to build from the back. Here's Del Moral now. Nowhere to go with it. Left off for Langdock.
Good choice by Langdock to shoot the gap. If no defense is going to step up and take ball, then just take it through yourself. A couple dribbles before you pass it off.
Hansen applying the pressure. A whistle comes in, though, and a foul. Free kick given to Chicago City.
Could be a sigh of relief here for Chicago City, at least an opportunity for some possession time. Surprised they didn't just get the ball up the field. Tried to play it from the back.
We talked about that physicality earlier in this broadcast. 24 combined fouls last Saturday, 2 total cards issued in that 7-0 Minnesota win. Physicality has been something that has marked this season series, even in the matchup in Chicago earlier this year, very physical nature. We haven't seen a lot of it, but at times it has shown through.
100%. And as an athlete, whether the match that you face against some of these athletes was 5 years ago, as an easy offsides call there on Minnesota Aurora FC, but whether you face up with someone and some physicality goes down 5 days ago or 2 years ago, you remember that coming in. You always know which player it is you have a little bit of beef with, which player you want to kind of get revenge on and prove a point to. And these two teams know each other all too well. There's definitely going to be some of those emotions in play today.
Here's Mariah Wynn with it. Played ahead. Hansen onside. Del Moral misses wide. Had a wide open frame and couldn't bury it as Shop had come out.
Another good opportunity for Aurora. And it's really interesting because Hansen, she is such a prolific scorer that she has the ability to draw so many defenders toward her at once. She had 3 on her, leaving Del Moral wide open. Just wasn't able to cash it in.
Hansen with 12 goals this year, tied for 3rd most in the league. Bailey DeSmit closed out the regular season with 21 goals, including 4 on the final day. A whistle and a foul here against Minnesota, and quickly taken by Chicago.
That could have been a really good decision by Chicago SC to get the ball up with a quickness. Had there been a little bit more communication and everyone on the team been on the same page to all get up and run together.
Langdock finds Del Moral. Great run here from Cat Rapp, onside. Hansen will have a go of it, and that shot blocked.
You're starting to see Minnesota Aurora get into their rhythm now, though. A lot more connected passes, quick movement, crossing from one side to the other, making the defense completely shift and open up some hula hoops, as I call them, some spaces, those pockets within the defense.
Another corner kick for Minnesota, the first of this match, but they're 99th of the season. They lead the Heartland in corners, 3rd most in the league. That ball in swinging. Harris is there but couldn't place it on net and hold everything. Official points to the spot. A penalty upcoming for Minnesota.
Wow.
A huge moment in the early goings for Minnesota, who's been deadly accurate from the spot. 4 for 4 on penalties taken this year.
This is huge right here. The last thing that Chicago wanted to see happen.
Del Moro will take it. And Del Moro converts. Minnesota an early strike, 1-0.
Del Moro really patient with it and love the decision making to go on the ground with it. It can be really hard for a goalkeeper, especially in a penalty kick situation, to get on the ground in time and stop that ball. Del Moro, textbook right there.
Del Moro's third goal of the season. It's the 11th time this year that Minnesota have struck first. 1-0 at the reset.
Del Moro, just really high soccer IQ. She knows this game so well. Her technical skills are out of this world, and she just put those on display really quick there.
Ball already won back by Minnesota after the reset.
For Minnesota Aurora, number 11, Ari Del Moro, in the 24th minute. Way to go, Ari!
Minnesota will build from the back here as Kafusi has it. Aurora, the highest scoring team in the league this season. 60 goals entering today's contest. Only 4 conceded. A plus 54 goal differential, the best in a single season in USLW history. And Wicker's ball, too much weight behind it, out for a Bella Shop goal kick.
Yeah, a really interesting matchup if it plays out this way on Saturday would be Minnesota and Indy 11, because Indy 11 just had a really crazy game where they scored 16 goals in one game. I mean, it sounds not real. So to see 2 offensive powerhouses go up at it against each other would be a really fun matchup.
A whistle comes in. Wickers rode Abby Roy to the ground there. It's interesting you bring up Indy 11, though, because that would be a rematch from last year's opening round matchup in Eagan between Indy 11 and Minnesota. Indy 11 actually struck first in that contest. It took 2 second-half goals for Minnesota to come from behind and win, as we have a whistle for a stoppage.
That game that you're talking about last year was Indy 11's only loss on the season. That came in that first round of playoffs. They went the entire regular season undefeated until Minnesota stepped up.
It was Abby Roy who immediately ran off. Looks like trying to clean up a little blood on that left knee on the Chicago City side of things. Meanwhile, we play on. Just shy of 30 minutes elapsed here at Atwood Stadium. Minnesota outshooting Chicago City 5-0 right now, including 3 chances. This part of the broadcast is brought to you by Commercial Graphics, the official graphic supplier of the Michigan Soccer Network. As Minnesota trying to build something here. That shot blocked away. The second effort, but the flag goes up. Del Moro in an offside position. As we were saying, the official graphic supplier of the Michigan Soccer Network. Commercial graphic specialties like print, design, signage, apparel, promo items, and vehicle graphics. To inquire about their services, call 586-726-8150 or comgraphics.com.
On that last opportunity by Aurora, it was Wynn who had a really quick turn and lethal first step to get past that defense and get a shot off. And then a second chance opportunity off of a rebound, which was really nice for Minnesota to be crashing that and get on top of that first. But the offsides call takes away the opportunity, unfortunately, for Aurora.
Aurora backtracking now as Kafusi has it. Finds Stone in the middle. Stone went down and a whistle comes in. That will be a foul against Morgan Stone. Free kick quickly taken by Chicago City.
Morgan Stone stayed on the ground and tried to play from the ground. So typical, you'll see a foul call from that there.
Bouncing ball found the feet of Maya Hansen. Now here's Langdock. Whipped in, just shy of the foot of Rapp and cleared back into the hands of Bella Shop. Soto was just trying to take the pressure off. That very well could have been a dangerous decision.
Ooh, yeah, 2 times now has Chicago's back line cleared the ball backwards. Thankfully, Shop always ready, staying on her toes, hands up, ready for it so that her own team doesn't get one in.
Your job to keep them tight. Let's go.
A hard collision there between players as Rapp collided there with Hannah Griezik. And official has a quick word with Griezik.
Yeah, Rapp has been taking a beating so far today. Earlier on at the beginning of the match, she tweaked what looked like her knee or her ankle. Then later had a foul called on the defender who was on her. And then now another opportunity for Rapp. She's been a tough cookie today.
Kafusi dots that in the air. No one on the receiving end for Minnesota. Ostrom couldn't sidestep a Chicago defender. And Wickers, poor first touch, couldn't corral that. And talking about Kat Rapp, you can make the argument that Rapp, even though she's not the leading scorer, she very well could be the most prolific, biggest difference maker for this team, especially at just 19 years old. 9 goals, 6 assists in the regular season. If she can replicate that when she returns to FIU for her next collegiate season, the Panthers could be well within working order of a conference title.
Absolutely. Kat Rapp is super fun to watch, and in the last game against Chicago SC, she actually scored her 9th goal off of back-to-back goals. So when she gets going, it's a domino effect.
Hansen picks up the pieces there, and Minnesota back on it. Left in the wide space to win. Good defending there from Soto, just using the muscle to push Wynn off the ball.
Yeah, really nice by Soto to cut her off and use those angles to her advantage on defense, because Wynn is a player who can turn and take that first step so quick and leave you in the dust, but Soto like a wall.
Del Moro's cross banked off the back of Miller. And we will have a Minnesota throw in, but a brief pause for a hydration break here at Atwood Stadium.
Love that for them. It is hot out, and even though it's raining a little bit, you're not able to just hold your tongue out like you're catching snowflakes. You gotta go off to the sides and get a little water break.
We just crossed over the half-hour mark played here in this contest. Minnesota has controlled the possession. They lead on the scoreboard. They have the advantage in shots and corners. If you're Chicago City, as this sort of serves as a de facto timeout, what are some tweaks that you might be making in hopes to pull equal?
I would definitely be telling the team that they have to stay on a string. When one player moves up, the rest of the team needs to move up with them, or vice versa. When you move back, everyone has to come back with you. It just has to look like more cohesive and more of a team, a group effort. And then to win those one-on-one defensive matchups, have the help ready if you need it, but you don't want to depend on that help. You want to be able to win those defensive matchups one-on-one, clear it out of there or build out of it instead of just clear it away.
A reminder, subscribe to the Michigan Soccer Network on YouTube. You can also like us and share this with your family and friends. Minnesota has still not allowed Chicago a shot on goal in this contest. Minnesota, in fact, have held 7 of their 9 previous opponents to 3 or fewer shots on goal. People look at the gaudy offensive numbers, but it's important to remember this is one of the most dominant defensive teams in the league as well.
Yeah, I mean, the reason their offensive strategy works so well is because it starts on defense. Everyone on this team plays defense, and Coach Lukic even said that she believes about 50% of their total goals probably come from them winning the ball and then running in transition. But if Minnesota Aurora can keep this defensive effort up as well, they will accomplish one of their goals. They wanted to get away from this game with another clean sheet on the season.
Minnesota enters this off the backs of 3 consecutive clean sheets, including 2 away from TCO Stadium, a 2-0 win against Bavaria, 4-0 at Green Bay, and then the aforementioned 7-0 defeat of Chicago City. That the largest margin of defeat in Chicago City history. As we're all set to get things going again after the hydration break. Harris has it off the Minnesota throw-in. Hansen just out of her reach, and it finds the feet of Bella Shop.
Chicago, it just doesn't look like everyone's on the same page today. Players aren't communicating as well as they should be in order to connect passes and string along some movement.
Langdock hangs one through the middle, intercepted momentarily. Now Del Moro back on it. Played through to Rapp. Del Moro flicks it back on. Bouncing ball as the teams trade headers, and that finally cleared away. Chicago City's defense can take a deep breath.
Rapp had a really tough angle on that shot opportunity there. An attempt. However, Del Moro just seems to always be in the right place at the right time. Sneaky and ends up behind the backs of the defense, able to always have space and time to get a nice shot off.
Del Moro spent 2021 at St. Cloud State. Prior to that, 2 years at Minnesota. Langdock finds Rapp.
Langdock, a University of Minnesota athlete herself.
Nowhere to go forward. Kafusi finds Harris. Harris. That one just slipped right through to Rapp. Rapp back into the mixer. And intercepted by Chicago City. Promising build-up fizzled out momentarily.
Morgan Stone just didn't quite run up in time to find the space in the middle to get on top of that ball and get to it first.
Langdock surveys. Crossed in. Shop out with the punch.
Langdock. She's just constantly running, getting forward and backward as an outside back. She's one of the most fit players probably on this team. She's just a ball of energy at all times.
A reminder that today's broadcast presented by Ally Financial, whether it's banking, investing, home loans, or auto finance, nothing stops us from doing right by you. Ally, do it right. Visit ally.com today. Wynn's cross was deflected away and out for a Minnesota corner.
And with these corners and set pieces, Coach Lukic actually said that it's up to the players on who services these. We respect them enough to let them decide.
And scratch that, a throw in, but still an opportunity for Minnesota as Stone had it for a moment, and it's out for a Minnesota throw in. Langdock moving forward. Defender stepped up with the challenge. Burrell. And a good job by Stone to recover.
And it's just surprising to see that Chicago never really pushes up and puts pressure on Harris or some of the rest of Aurora's back line when they're resetting action. Chicago just kind of lets them have all the time and space in the world to reset and restart.
We really have not seen Chicago City in the Minnesota end of things. It's been all Minnesota on this end and continuing here as Langdock crosses it in. Rapp puts it on goal. Great stop made by Shop. Initially coughed up the rebound and grabbed it right back.
Wow, had Hansen been running for that rebound and second chance opportunity, she might have got it because Shop did fumble it initially.
Wynn with the interception. Official says play on. Nice build up here for Chicago City, progressing nicely, but Minnesota able to win it back. Aurora will have a throw in.
Chicago City is just not able to hang on to possession for more than about 10 to 15 seconds at a time is the issue here.
Our production crew posed the question in the live chat on the YouTube feed. Who do you think will win today? 87% voted Minnesota, and right now that prediction holding true at least through almost an entire half. A Ari Del Moral penalty conversion earlier in this half has been the difference so far. However, Minnesota has dominated every other stat across the board.
I'm interested to see if today's game is going to look similar to the last matchup between these two teams, where it was Minnesota Aurora who only notched in 1 goal in that first half and then 6 goals in the second half. Right now, Minnesota has 1 goal in this first half with just a few minutes remaining, but you know that's not all that Aurora has to offer.
Coming up on the Buffalo Wild Wings halftime report, first half stats, a scoring summary, and more. You don't want to miss that. That's something interesting, though. You talk about the second half scoring for Minnesota. That was really their calling card last year, being a second half team. More on that in a moment, though. Rapp. A promising build-up. Rapp lets the shot fly, and it's blocked. But Minnesota last year were such a strong second half team, at times having to play from behind in that first half. They've really flipped the script this year. Their whole mentality has been they want to put teams away early, and majority of the season they've done that.
And that just makes it more fun. If you're able to put a team away early, that makes it an opportunity for other subs to come in and get some more minutes, or for you to just try some new things out there. You have a new move that you want to try, go ahead and try it the second half.
Hansen cuts it back. Finds Stone. Stone just couldn't get it in off the first touch. And it's back into the hands of Bella Shop.
A scary situation there for Chicago City. It was Brooke Miller on Chicago's end who was raising her hand up trying to get the refs to call the offsides, but not called. However, they dodged a bullet because there was not a goal involved either.
Shop has been busy. 3 first-half saves. They've all been huge. Stone and the Chicago player clatter into each other. No foul given to either.
Smooth tackle from Stone. She got to the ball first, and then it just so happened that she took out the defensive player running next to her.
That was Kelly Flores that Stone collided with. Back to Kafusi for Minnesota.
Chicago's back line, though, with a lot of trust in their goalkeeper, in the freshman, Shop. They'll continue to play it back to her and then trust her to clear it out or get it up the field.
A whistle for a stoppage, an injury stoppage at that. It was Abby Roy, the Purdue Boilermaker. A little collision off the aerial duel, and Roy back up. Good to see that. Closing in on the halftime whistle here at Atwood Stadium. Still 1-0 in favor of Minnesota. Good job there by Brooke Miller. Just stuck that foot out, able to disrupt that ball.
Miller's a player at Northwestern University, repping the Big Ten there. She was also the 2021 Gatorade Player of the Year.
And speaking of Miller, had it there for a moment before Harris recollects it for Minnesota.
Brooke Miller has also earned herself a starting spot the last 2 games. She started for the first time this season, last game versus Minnesota, started again today.
Ball rolls to the feet of Wynn. Could be something here from Minnesota, but Rapp's pass off the mark. And Shop will just clear it away. Because of the stoppage earlier for the hydration break, there will be 3 minutes of added time here at the end of this first 45 minutes.
In these 3 extra minutes, if you're Minnesota, you're going to want to see a lot more urgency out of your players than you've seen the last few minutes, especially on the last opportunity with Rapp getting a touch on that ball and pushing it forward. There just wasn't enough urgency out of the rest of the players to get to it and attack.
Burrell goes forward with it, found Pineda. Excaret Pineda has been a force at times this year. 4 goals for the player out of Oklahoma State. Meanwhile, Hansen's cross blocked out, and that will be Minnesota's second corner of the match.
Really smooth tackle there by Mia Perry on Chicago's end, but gives Aurora a corner.
Wickers takes it, finds Langdock. Langdock's shot trickles through and stopped on the doorstep. A near chance buried for Minnesota. They do win another corner.
My goodness, Minnesota, they get a lot of these corners, but it's Coach Lukic who says, yeah, we get a lot of them, but how many scores do we have off them? That's what she wants to start seeing more of, more goals converted off of these corners and set pieces.
Wickers will take this corner again, this time from the far flag. Headed away by Chicago. Langdock flicks it back on, and it's way wide and out for a shop goal kick.
Really nice triangle formation there by Chicago City SC. Again, though, they can't hang on to the possession longer than about 10 seconds.
Win back on it now, flanked by Ostrom. Ostrom's ball through to Hansen. Great sliding challenge. It's still loose. Ostrom. Off the volley win. That shot didn't get through, and finally Chicago City able to clear the lines. We have reached halftime at Atwood Stadium. City SC can take a breather. A flurry of chances at the end of the half for for Minnesota. 1 goal to show for it, though. Minnesota leads it 1-0 after 45 minutes. The halftime report when we return.
Granite City Food and Brewery has 2 Michigan locations in Troy and Northville. Serves made-from-scratch food, brews in-house beer, and even has brunch every Sunday from 9 a.m. to 2 p.m. To learn more about their daily specials or to book a private party, visit gcfb.com. Make sure you head over to Granite City in Northville at the corner of 7 Mile and Haggerty, or the Troy location at 16 Mile and I-75.
Now Worrell has a good cutback from him. He'll fire one, and that's going to go in!
Their first uniform. Their first number. Their first teammate. Their first goal. Their first coach. We take great care in making sure their first isn't their last. We're so much more than a soccer class. Come play with us today at kickstarttoddlersoccer.com.
I work in nursing home, I work in the restaurant, and I own my own food truck. And I bank with Huntington. I used to always look at that sign, come on, own your own home. So one day I just said, okay, I'm gonna go talk to the banker. And he didn't tell me, no, it's not possible. He told me anything was possible. And that made me feel good. Hi, I'm Veronica, And this is my banker, Roger. He's awesome. He's a good guy.
Beat Up Sweet Chili Lime Sauce has 3 perfect ingredients. Sweet, chili, lime. People keep telling us sweet isn't an ingredient. How these wings get sweet then? Introducing new Sweet Chili Lime for a limited time at Buffalo Wild Wings.
I'm a husband. I'm a father.
I'm a sister.
I'm a son. I'm a brother.
I'm a daughter. I'm a sister. I'm a referee.
I'm a referee.
I am a referee.
I'm a referee.
Do it.
Come on, Dad, get me.
Ooh, nice play. All right, go. There we go.
So cute. At Ally, we're helping millions save more for the things that matter most to them. Whatever you're saving for, we're all better off with an Ally.
Get back to work.
Don't just burn calories, torch those little suckers. Base Camp Fitness Troy opening up this March will help you get maximum results in half the time. Our intensity intervals of cardio and strength training will supercharge your calorie burn all in just 35 minutes. Make sure to lock in our founders rate and claim your 2-week risk-free trial by scanning the QR code on your screen. Base Camp Fitness Troy, located at 443 East Big Beaver Road in Troy, Michigan.
Clubs love Ollie because it helps them manage their club and accelerate the development of their coaches and players. Every soccer club talks about their focus on development, but nobody actually measures it until now. We've developed the capability for every one of your teams to easily capture pro-level game stats in real time using a mobile phone. It's one thing at the end of the day to look up the results for your club, but how valuable would it be for directors to actually see how each team played? How well did a team possess the ball and control the game? How well did they create dangerous chances inside the box? How did your top players perform? And how is each coach improving from week to week? Ollie provides this powerful data through a club dashboard that shows club results and lets you drill down into any game or player. Ollie also includes team and club management that lets you communicate instantly with coaches, parents, and players, and lets directors see every club event so they can easily coordinate visits to matches and training sessions. It's got everything you need in one simple app. Reach out to us to get your club started today.
Back inside Atwood Stadium, it's the halftime report in this USLW League playoff opener between Minnesota and Chicago. Some first half highlights to show you. Although the scoreline doesn't indicate it, it was a very entertaining first half.
It was a very offensive-powered game on Minnesota's side. So far in that first half, it was Chicago City kind of just sitting back and playing like their house is on fire, because it was. It was Minnesota constantly in possession the entire game, getting a lot of good opportunities, but only able to capitalize off of that last penalty kick goal that you just seen.
Del Moral, the difference so far, had the penalty converted earlier in the first half. Minnesota has done a good job, though, of really peppering Bella Shop with plenty of chances.
Shop's done a really good job, and she's had to really step up big today. She's had 7 saves so far in that first half. Only can expect more of those to be coming at her in the second. She's got to have a lot of weight on her shoulders. That back line in front of her needs to pick up some of the slack and clear some balls out of there before they get to her.
Let's take a look at the first half stats, and as we mentioned, lopsided in favor of Minnesota. 8 shots on target, 2 corners. Haven't really seen a whole lot of that physicality we saw in the first 2 matchups, and maybe that's a product of the elements coming into play a little bit earlier in this first half, but 13 total shots for 45 minutes is a whopping number.
Huge. I mean, it's pretty crazy how offensive powered Aurora is and can be. They get a lot of really good opportunities, and Aurora's the type of team that after they see a goal go in, it kind of just becomes a domino effect. Once they start to see some action, they'll keep it going. For Chicago, though, they just have to figure out a way to keep possession for one and then start building a string of attacks.
We'll head to break here. This is the halftime report at Atwood Stadium. Minnesota leads 1-0.
Every small business has expenses as it grows. Whether you're a farmer, a wedding planner, or anything in between, PFCU can help. With a suite of business services, we can help build your business.
Beat Up Sweet Chili Lime Sauce has 3 perfect ingredients. Sweet, chili, lime. People keep telling us sweet isn't an ingredient. How these wings get sweet then? Introducing new Sweet Chili Lime for a limited time at Buffalo Wild Wings.
Are you looking to grow here in 2023? Let the Michigan Soccer Network help you and your restaurant fill more seats. Help you and your law firm get new clients. Help you and your dental practice find more patients. Find more roofing customers for this upcoming summer. And to help you and your medical practice find new patients. To learn more or get started, visit MichiganSoccerNetwork.com.
How much can you save when you shop Cub? Let's just say you might need a bigger cart. We've lowered prices so you save more. On Essential Every Day, it's easy to see the savings. Across the aisles, from pantry products to frozen foods to delicious dairy and more. Your family will love it, guaranteed, or your money back. Shop Cub and save today. My Cub, my way. See store for details.
How did we get there? Not to that place, but to that space in time. They say you are all the ages you've ever been. It is these precious, fleeting experiences, weekend getaways or long summer trips, experienced together. Travel that replaces words with images, feelings, senses. that shape us and make us who we are. Explore Minnesota.
Twin Cities Orthopedics is ready to go with more doctors, specialty services, and convenient urgent care locations. Ready, set, TCO.
Let's do it.
Come on, Dad, get me.
Oh, nice play. All right, go. There you go.
So cute. At Ally, we're helping millions save more for the things that matter most to them. Whatever you're saving for, we're all better off with an Ally.
Get back to work. Oh.
Every small business has expenses as it grows. Whether you're a farmer, a wedding planner, or anything in between, PFCU can help. With a suite of business services, we can help build your business.
Now Worrell has a good cutback from him. He'll fire one, and that's going to go in!
Back inside Atwood Stadium, almost time for the start of half number 2. Minnesota leads it over their division rivals Chicago City 1-0 thanks to an Ari Del Moro penalty converted in the first half, and a sizable advantage in shots for Minnesota, 13-0 after 45 minutes of play. One change to bring you aware of on the Minnesota side of things, Brenlin Mullaney, the sophomore for Ole Miss, native of Collierville, Tennessee, set to sub in for the second half.
We have been keeping an eye on Kat Rapp, number 20 for Minnesota. She got bumped in the beginning of this game. Looked like she might have tweaked her knee or ankle a little bit. She has a slight limp in her walk, but she's a tough cookie. I heard she's used to getting banged up out there, so she's not afraid of the contact. She's used to this.
We talked about Rapp earlier in that first half about the explosion, both goals and assists. When you look at last year, her season for Aurora, 3 goals, 2 assists. She has really come into her own in her second season with Minnesota.
And she just has one of the coolest stories in the league. She plays with one of 3 Rapp triplets on this team. Her sisters Elizabeth and Rami play at University of Oklahoma. So just so cool that she gets to play at this next level with her sisters.
No changes made by Chicago after 45 minutes of play. The rain has let off after what was a deluge earlier in that first half.
And you know, I honestly think Chicago City's head coach, Lakeisha Gums, isn't upset at all by that first half and only letting in 1 goal by Minnesota and off of a penalty kick, not even in gameplay. So I think she's happy that the score is 1-0 right now. It's just how do they continue to bend, don't break in the second half. That's typically when Chicago has been able to really get the heat over on them.
Whistle sounds, second half underway. 1-0, Minnesota leads. Bella Shop extremely busy in goal in that opening 45 minutes. 7 stops, as we showed you on the halftime report. Here's Ostrom with it near side. Has Wickers on the overlap, and the flag comes up offside against Minnesota.
Love the way, though, that Minnesota pulls back and then crosses to the opposite side. You can see the entire defense on Chicago's end shift and open up a lot of holes, and that's why Minnesota is able to get so much opportunities going on the offensive end, because when they cross and create that shift, they find so many of those pockets and open spaces to attack in.
Harris with options going forward. That ball trickles through and finds Rapp. In less than an hour, the next USLW playoff fixture will kick off. That between Tampa Bay United and Tennessee SC. Meanwhile, Aurora looking for the cross here, and Mulaney just running out of real estate. That Tampa-Tennessee SC should be a fascinating matchup at 5 Eastern. Tennessee just eking in on the final day of the regular season, leapfrogging Chattanooga in the South Central. And then you have Tampa Bay, the only other completely unblemished team besides Aurora, 12-0-0. They've allowed 1 goal all year long.
Insane. Insane. It doesn't sound like a real stat.
Stands to reason Tampa leads the USLW in clean sheets this season with 11 of them.
Yeah, and I mean, Aurora's right there with them, though. I think, if I'm not mistaken, they've only allowed in 3 or 4 goals.
City trying to clear the lines. Meanwhile, Wynn there was hounding the defender, Soto. Soto comes out of a crowd with it. Oh, expertly timed challenge there from Wickers, able to get it back for Minnesota.
Wickers did a really good job at sealing the defense on her back.
Good ball played in, was looking for Rapp. You see the frustration for Kat Rapp, just a little bit out in front.
Rapp's definitely letting some of that frustration out. She's had quite a few opportunities today that she hasn't been able to capitalize on. However, in the last matchup against Chicago, she also had a lot of opportunities that she didn't capitalize on until near the end of the game, where she had back-to-back goals. It's just a matter of time for Rapp.
Mulaney tried the give and go and able to fight off the challenge. Now Langdock on the overlap. That one falls through and cleared away by Chicago. Bouncing ball looking for Mulaney. She'll catch up to that in the corner. Whipped in and punched out. Rapp. Over to Wickers. That shot wide.
Wickers with a nice opportunity there. Dusting off her shoulder a little bit. I like it. On the defensive end for Chicago, the back line still has to do a better job at beating Minnesota to the ball. Brooke Miller has to be able to turn on those jets quicker and really chase one down.
Another Chicago player down off the aerial duel. That's Abby Roy again. Roy had gone down earlier in the first half. Training staff will tend to the injured player. The old coach's adage is that it's tough to beat the same team 3 times. That is something that Minnesota's head coach Nicole Lukic talked about with us earlier this week. It does give her a little pause having to face the same team a 3rd time. She did say, though, she liked where her team was at mentally going into this rematch.
Yeah, Lukic said, I think we took the right steps on July 1st, playing the group that we wanted to. She expected to come into today, changing it up, giving a different look with different personnel. And they've done that quite a few times this season. They do a really good job at giving different players different opportunities and switching up that starting lineup. Everyone gets to play minutes on this team this season.
That adaptability is something that Lukic has lauded her team for. She even a few weeks ago told me that's something that they look for, a characteristic they look for in players during the recruitment process as play resumes off the drop ball. Even earlier this season, after a match when Minnesota, because of poor air quality in the Twin Cities, I should say, had to shift a match indoors, Lukic even said that we're an adaptable team. That has to be our mindset, even in an environment like without a crowd. I was really impressed with how we handled sudden changes and how adaptable we are. That's really one of the core team characteristics.
100%. Lukic likes to put players in different positions. She likes to have players who can play various positions, especially when you have midfielders who can go and provide a spark in the attacking third. An ability to stretch the field, that's what she's going to want to see.
Aurora back on it now as Rapp has it. Here's Wynn. Tried to whip that ball in, and it was coated well defensively. Chicago trying to break out from the back, unable to capitalize on a counterattack. Aurora win it back. Here's Mulaney. And Chicago will have the throw. This part of the broadcast is brought to you by Ollie Live Sports. Youth sports culture is toxic because we only measure successes by wins and losses. 70% of kids quit playing by age 13. Ollie Sports is changing the youth sports experience with meaningful, positive data for every player, every game.
And with Chicago trying to get some breakaways ahead, it's going to be tough when it's against Tiana Harris. She's just such a wall in that back line, not letting anyone get through.
Played through to Stone. Stone whipped back in and deflected away. Langdock's shot wide.
Langdock's had a few opportunities today from pretty deep where they've all went wide on. I would like to see Langdock try to gather that ball and then take a couple dribbles in to get a closer shot opportunity, maybe get some more accuracy with her aim on goal. I like the aggression, though. She's very aggressive, not afraid to attack and shoot.
Aurora, here's Rapp, and Rapp can't put it on frame.
Rapp's got to start having that amnesia mentality that I call it. It's kind of the forget about it mentality. After a mistake or a miss, you have to be able to forget that mistake immediately in order to have the confidence to shoot it again with accuracy and success on the next one.
Aurora really utilizing this high press early in this second half, trying to force turnovers just like that. Wickers gets it back. Mulaney cuts back into the middle. Here's Wickers. Rapp is onside, and her shot is blocked. Another corner coming, the 4th today for Minnesota.
Do have to give a lot of credit, though, to City for holding the fort down in the back line. I mean, the amount of opportunities, shots, and shots on goal by Minnesota today has been unreal, but only one goal on the board.
Whipped in. Ball loose and cleared away. Wickers had Stone on the overlap, poked back through. Minnesota couldn't finish it.
Oh, the ball crossed all the way through every single player inside the box. Wynn tried to make a jog after it, but knew it was going out of bounds and the opportunity had already passed.
2 changes made by Chicago City. Mia Hollingsworth will come in, as will Maya Gardner, the DePaul enrollee for the upcoming season. And one change to that, it's Leah Crotty, the sophomore out of Illinois State, who comes in for Chicago City. Ostrom will toss it in near side.
Wow, really good patience there by Stone, sealing the defense on her back. And then even with the second one coming onto her front side, she's able to use her ball handling skills to get it out of there without a touch on.
Harris weaving through the middle. That pass blocked away. Finds its way to Rapp. Now Hansen played through. Hansen couldn't get to it before it crosses the end line. It has been all Minnesota's second half so far. Still looking for the goal to show for it, though.
Yeah, one of the most promising opportunities there, especially as Schaub came out of goal and gave Hansen an empty goal. She just couldn't get to that ball on time to even get the shot off.
Another turnover for Chicago City. Rapp has Hansen on the overlap. The flag is up, offside.
Just the extra threat that is also added in on offense when center back Tiana Harris moves forward into an attacking position and creates some opportunities for her teammates there off of passes, forcing defense to come up and mark her.
Wynn couldn't wrangle that one in. Now Chicago back on it. Trying desperately to break out here, and again cannot.
At some point, Chicago City has to start getting a chip on their shoulder and taking things personal, not allow Minnesota to come in and take the ball away anytime they please, not allow Minnesota to have all of the space and time in the world to reset and set up new things that they want. Even in a situation like this, you should be seeing some players like Sophia Jaime run up and put some pressure on Minnesota's back line there.
Minnesota will have the throw. It's interesting to me because we haven't really seen Chicago City utilize long stretch passes to soften up the defense for Aurora. Earlier this year in the Bavarian United Minnesota game at TCO, early on in that first half, for at least 35, 40 minutes, Bavarian had success doing that, forcing Minnesota to play an aerial game. Meanwhile, here's Rapp. Wickers. Now Wynn invited to shoot, and that goes over the bar.
Poor Minnesota just can't buy a goal right now. All the opportunities in the world, but just not able to capitalize, not able to hit it in the money spot. But yeah, back to what you were saying a little bit about an aerial game as well. I think that Chicago City would have a lot of good done by going over the top aerially.
Takes a fortuitous bounce for Minnesota, and the shot over the bar again. This time, though, a corner one for Aurora, the 5th of the match.
Interested to see what type of set piece Aurora throws out this time. They'll change it up often, even have different players servicing. It's been Wicker for most of them today.
Wickers in and gloved down there by Bella Shop. Read well. It's so crucial, too. Did not give up a rebound. So many Navy shirts hanging around the mouth of goal.
So many Navy shirts jumping through the air, ready to get their head on one. But Shop, I mean, wow. She has height to her advantage, but also such a long wingspan helps her get those hands on those balls.
Quickly, a counterattack here for Chicago City. Could this be something for City SC? Still seeking that equalizer in this second half. Going back to Shop, though, you're right. Good 5'9" frame for the freshman out of Brown. As we mentioned, an Ivy League honorable mention selection a season ago. 11 appearances.
So this is just a throw-in for Chicago City. They wanted to try to set up a little bit of a set piece, but again, just can't hang on to possession long enough to get anything strung along.
This part of our broadcast is brought to you by Soccer Parenting Association. Let's make youth soccer better, inspiring players by empowering parents. To learn more, visit soccerparenting.com and learn about our parent and coach education programs. Play has come to a halt, a player down for Chicago City. And with the heat being a factor, this looks to be a cramp there.
Some people, certain sports fans out there might say, you know, oh, come on, it's just a cramp. Well, if you're saying that, you've never had a cramp before. 'Cause those suckers hurt. It feels like you've just been shot from a cramp.
And it's not even the heat, it's the humidity, too. 67% here in Flint, Michigan. That does, after an extended stretch of running and physicality, that does tend to start to take a toll on the body.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, I can't imagine my old retired sports body trying to get out there and still play some soccer. I'd be cramped up and injured out within 20 seconds. So the players out there today, they're giving it their all. It's a lot of effort being dispersed out there on the field, a lot of miles being ran. You can expect cramps and things of that sort will happen, but at least it's not a serious injury, just one of those that hurts bad in the moment. You got to walk off, shake out, stretch out.
Play will resume with the Chicago throw in. Normally, it's Kennedy Burchell wearing the number 15 shirt for Chicago City. We just saw a substitution made. That is Caroline Risnays, the Chicago State Panther. Began her career at Wisconsin Green Bay with the Green Bay Phoenix.
Coming off the bench, number 13, Casey Castro.
Another City SC player slow to get up. Here's Wynn, flanked by Soto. That pass intercepted. Aurora will have the throw.
And of course, even as an opponent, you never want to see the team that you're playing, any of your opponents, get seriously injured, but you do want to see them get worn out, kind of slow to get up, whether it's from tiredness, the heat, or whatever that may be. That was one of the goals of Aurora today, to wear out City.
Resnays will clear it away off the Mulaney cross. The poll posed to the viewers on the live stream by our production team is over 100 votes now, 83% saying that Minnesota will hang on to win this opening playoff fixture. Too much on that pass from Mulaney, and a goal kick upcoming. Mulaney tried to play wrap through, intercepted by Chicago City.
Woo. Wynn got some airtime on that one.
And this will be a card. First booking of the afternoon as Mariah Wynn shown yellow. The 8th yellow of the season for Minnesota as a team.
A player that I'm interested to see if we get to see some action out of is Minnesota's Hannah Adler, former pro player in Israel and Denmark, and she came into the game against Chicago SC last game, and within about 20 seconds had a goal off of her first touch.
Minnesota Aurora, player number 19, Mariah Wynn, in 58 minutes.
Hansen tried to play Mulaney into wide space. Instead, that finds the touchline, and Chicago City will have the throw on the far side. Things have started to slow down just a little bit after what was an early flurry to the second half of potential opportunities for Minnesota. Still, though, significantly outshooting Chicago City today. Here's Pineda. Finds its way back to Pineda. Roy trying to fight off the challenge there from Wynn. Does so successfully, and now Soto. Free kick coming for Chicago.
Still surprised to see that Chicago, especially on the free kick, is playing the short game instead of an aerial game, trying to go over the head of the Minnesota back line. Could be just a strategy, though, by City's head coach, Lakeisha Gums, to lock down and lock in on defense for the majority of the game and then turn on the Jets on the offensive side near the end.
Ostrom bumped off the ball. A whistle sounds, though, and Jaime gets tagged with that foul. This part of our broadcast is brought to you by Dort Financial. Fulfilling dreams. Visit dortonline.org today.
Jaime, a really physical, aggressive player. She led the Flames at University of Illinois Chicago with 4 goals last year. Made the all-freshman team.
Mulaney runs out of room. Chicago with the throw in. City SC still struggling to hang on to possession here. A turnover, I should say, in a poor area. Minnesota set to make 3 more changes at the next available opportunity.
Honestly, just surprised that Minnesota hasn't been able to make City pay for the plethora of mistakes that they've been making. All of the turnovers, giving it right back to Minnesota.
Langdock steps in front for the interception. There's Hansen, give and go to Langdock.
Ooh.
Nice job by Rapp, but again cleared away by City.
Really dangerous there by City to try to clear it out up the middle. It's where all of your attacking mids are going to try to run up through on Minnesota's end to get to it first.
Minnesota will make 3 changes. Christelle Yewa, Eli, and Rami Rapp. All 3 will come on. As Stone, Ostrom, and Hansen exit.
So we got the Rapp trio out there now. See what comes of this. Yewa, also a really fun player to watch up top as a forward. She's a strong attacker.
One of the best traditions that Minnesota Aurora fans have, especially their diehard supporter section. Every time a Rapp comes on to the pitch at TCO, they hang an R. And every time another Rapp comes on, they continue to stack them up. Somewhere in an empty stadium, there are 3 R flags hanging up for all 3 Rapp sisters on the pitch at the same time right now.
That's so cool. I love it.
Here's Eli Rapp. Was looking for her sister Kat.
Something else really interesting, Yewa, who just came in for Minnesota. She's actually from Okemos, Michigan, so there's a chance that she's got some family here, some friends coming and supporting her.
She's also a doctor, as here's Yewa. That ball finds her. Yewa cutting in. And crashing in. That will be a foul against Christelle Yewa.
Pretty unfortunate for Yewa. Honestly, she was just continuing to go after that ball. She's got strong legs, a physical demeanor, but I don't think anything that necessarily deserved a foul call there. If anything, it looked like she was the one who was kicked a little bit in the stomach on the clear out.
Harris, plenty of space to carry it forward. Good sliding challenge by the defender. Advantage played by the official. Langdock hangs that in. Now here's Rami Rapp. That shot blocked. Another interception for Langdock and tripped up from behind. That will be a free kick and a very good spot for Minnesota, well within striking distance. A Chicago City player will at least get a talking to from the official.
Just a really dangerous play by Chicago City to come from behind with the foul like that. Injuries can happen that way. Thankfully, none were this time.
And there was a yellow card shown during that.
It's like a 3-4 person wall there by City.
Lang Doc flips that one in, loose inside the penalty area. A short clearance for Chicago. Wynn looking for the cross. A good job by Shop, hugging that near post and dove on it to end the chance for Minnesota. A reminder to follow MSN on all social media platforms, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and YouTube at MI Soccer Network.
City is doing a really good job at putting their body on the line, not afraid to get hit, get physical, do whatever it takes to get yourself in front of that ball, stop a goal from being scored. They've held strong to just this 1-0 deficit here.
A straight red.
Wow.
Sophia Jaime has been sent off in the 77th minute.
Honestly missed what happened there. I would love to see a replay on that. That's huge disappointment for City. Jaime is one of the most aggressive attackers that this team has.
In all fairness, really not. There wasn't really anything else the official could do. A cynical challenge. When you go in from behind, you're inviting a yellow or at least a booking. Chicago City will play with 10 women for the remaining 13 minutes of this match. And that is a significant blow for Chicago City. Although they are being heavily outshot, it's still a 1-0 scoreline, meaning any crazy thing that could happen.
Still anyone's game. It really is. And City's done such a good job at, even though they're not getting possession time, at least keeping this score within reach and keeping this a game.
Played back through to Mulaney. Mulaney runs out of room, and that will be another goal kick. Changes made by Chicago City. And hold everything, actually. Intercepted by Eli Rapp. Back out to Wynn, providing width.
Ooh, man. City's definitely starting to get pretty physical out there. A couple pushes in the back that refs didn't see.
And some of that, you have to wonder if that's just frustration starting to bubble over, because even though, again, it is 1-0, it feels like a larger deficit than what it actually is, because how Minnesota has dominated possession.
100%. And that back line, not only are they getting frustrated, and this team of Chicago City as a whole getting frustrated with Minnesota Aurora, but they're also getting frustrated with each other. Some of the players starting to yell at each other, at their teammates a little bit, which is never a good sign.
Another whistle sounds as Kat Rapp was down for Minnesota, and Aurora will have a free kick.
Kat Rapp continuing to take a beating out there, but she's one of the toughest cookies of all the cookies. She's all right.
We've crossed over the 80th minute as Wickers hangs that in off the post. Wrap shot goes high. Another prime scoring chance for Minnesota. That close to doubling the advantage.
Wow. Wynn did a really nice job, though, at winning the ball, getting to it first, getting her head on it. It's just little things right now making it unable for Minnesota to not continue to add goals to the board. And it's not necessarily that Chicago City SC is completely stopping them. They've made some good saves. They've stopped some big plays. However, it's really just Minnesota's own self beating themselves right now.
2 changes made for Chicago City. Angie Gallo and Delisha Spence. Here's Yewa, was looking to cross it back through to Win, and that will find the feet of Bella Shop.
Also in number 18, Alexis Sapphire. Coming off the pitch is number 11, Hannah Green.
And really cool, too, on the free kicks by Minnesota that they'll use Kafusi, the center back, to play most of those free kicks.
Great ball through, Rapp in, and can't chip it past the keeper.
Ash Rapp just turned her hips a little bit too wide on that one instead of keeping them square on goal. Little technical things right now make all of the difference for Minnesota Aurora to get some more goals on the board.
A reminder, this part of the broadcast is brought to you by Trivaloni Financial, fully independent fee only financial advice. Your financial freedom begins with a visit to trivam.com. Meanwhile, here's Chicago City, and that build-up fizzles out almost momentarily.
And it's got to a point with City where even though it's that from that far deep for Delisha Spence, it's not a good shot opportunity. City and Spence, they feel like they have to take those because they're hardly getting any possession time, let alone shots or shots on goal. So any tiny sliver of an opportunity that they have, they're going to take a shot, even if it's not the best looking one from deep out.
Here's Spence, and Spence able to draw the foul on Eli Rapp. That will be a Chicago City free kick as we approach the 84th minute. This is an area that Nicole Lukic has keyed in on for her team, these long-distance set pieces and how they handle them defensively. Spence goes down, no foul given by the official. Rapp dancing through defenders. Able to shake free of the third.
Oh.
Win. Played through, heading to the far post and wide. A corner upcoming for Minnesota, piling on the chances.
I absolutely thought that was going to be the moment that Aurora gets their second goal on the board. They love to run in transition. That's when things feel most fluid. Without a second thought, no thinking twice, everyone on the same page, just reading and reacting, running with each other in transition. That's when magic happens for Minnesota, just short of a second goal.
Kylie Olsen will sub on late here in the 85th minute as Mariah Wynn will get a much-deserved rest. Aurora short the corner to Langdock. That shot goes wide, I believe, and it did catch the head of a Chicago defender. That's 7 corners now for Minnesota.
Back-to-back corners this time on the opposite side for Minnesota.
Wickers will take this from the near flag. And swinging, headed by Harris wide. She scored 4 times off that exact same play, nearly a fifth, just inches wide.
And Wickers just puts up such a beautiful ball off of those corner kicks. She's a captain. She was awarded the 2022 Goal of the Year in the USLW for her goal against Tormenta FC in the championship. So not only does she put up nice balls and able to facilitate and assist, she's got some scoring prowess in her too.
Coming up on the post-game report presented by Ollie Live Sports, a scoring summary and match stats. A reminder that if this result holds up, Minnesota would move through to the Central Conference Final Saturday at 3 p.m. Eastern Time, where they would face the winner of Indy 11 Flint AFC. Here's Olsen, whips in. You can hear Lakeisha Gums on the touchline for Chicago City imploring her team to move with a little more sense of urgency. Time definitely not on their side here.
This urgency just needed to kick in a lot sooner for City. They've just allowed Minnesota to reset, to take time and space, to essentially do whatever they want until it gets to the goal scoring aspect of it.
Good ball over the top. That's Rapp with it and couldn't corral it in off the first touch.
That's a situation where Rapp needs to have that amnesia effect a lot sooner, the forget about it mentality. The second after that ball was cleared, Rapp hung her head, put her head down a little bit in defeat when it was Minnesota Aurora who got the ball back, and had Rapp continued her run or continued trying to make a play, she could have got that ball back in even a better position than when she started with it.
Less than 2 minutes until the 90th minute mark. There will be added time. So Chicago City not completely out of the question that they could find an equalizer, but again, time not on their side here. Here's Mulaney, swings past a defender. Olsen able to keep it in.
Good hustle there by Olsen, just refusing to give up on the play.
If you're Minnesota, this is textbook what you want to do. Continue to take more time off the clock. Aurora in an offside position. Flag was up.
A little bit of a silly mistake there by Aurora, especially with time on your side. You don't need to do too much. Just play keep away, attack when it's there, shoot when it's there.
Up ahead, Aurora looking for the offside flag. Won't matter. Poor ball was there to clear it.
Poor ball hasn't had to do much today, but stayed on her toes there.
Rapp is onside, and out comes Shop. Ends any danger. Had Rapp breathing down her neck.
Shop has me over here shaking my head in amazement because honestly, she has been incredible today.
Rapp will steer it back to poor ball.
And poor ball, even though that she hasn't had to do make many big plays. She communicates the entire game, leading her team, letting them know what's going on as she has all the eyes.
4 minutes of stoppage time here at the end of this match. Rapp just couldn't keep it in, and it will be a shop goal kick. Headed back forward by Mulaney, looking for Rapp, and Cat Rapp in an offside position. Rapp will subsequently go into the book. We've now seen 4 yellows and a red in this match.
Almost looks like City's slightly giving up a little bit. It took Shop screaming at her teammates, move up, push up, everyone run, to get some of those players even jogging forward.
City had the throw, an error on the initial throw in. We'll give it back to Minnesota. Cleared away by Minnesota. As Olsen hoofing it down and will catch up to it. Olsen trying to head for the corners and runs out of room. Chicago City again must move quickly with this.
Just not even close to enough urgency out of City right now.
There's Pineda.
And the thing about urgency is you want to play with urgency, but at the same time you can't play rushed and frazzled.
One last change for Minnesota as Vienna Banky, the Wisconsin native, will sub on. Cat Rapp will exit.
What a game for Cat Rapp. She is whooped. Some much needed water heading her way.
Minnesota Aurora substitution. Coming out of the pitch, number 18, Vienna Banky. Coming out again, number 20, Catherine Rapp.
Harris intercepted and headed away. Official checks her watch, closing in on the end of this match. And there it is. Full time at Atwood Stadium for the second consecutive season. Minnesota Aurora have won their playoff opener. A 1-0 victory over division foes Chicago City SC. A dominant performance, although it won't show on the scoreline.
Right. I mean, exactly. This is a game that Minnesota wasn't their best game. They couldn't buy a goal, but still hang on to the win and dominate possession all game long.
That goal on your screen just now from Ari Del Moral, the difference off a penalty early in the first half, and it held up despite a flurry of opportunities, 7 corners, 20-plus shots for Minnesota. They hold Chicago City without a shot on goal for the entirety of this match. Minnesota will play in Saturday's Central Conference Final. Chicago City's season comes to a close at 8-4-1. We'll head to break here and return for the post-match report. Don't go anywhere.
Since 1936, Dover has been specializing in doors for your home.
Do you do garage doors?
Dover does it. The area's largest selection to meet everybody's style and budget.
But do you do entry doors?
Absolutely. From steel, fiberglass, wood core, we have the look you'll love. Dover does it.
How about storm doors?
Of course, we have them all. Steel, aluminum, glass, and the very popular retractable screen. Dover does it. Were you going to ask about interior doors?
Why not?
You know it. Whether it's a hanging door, bifold door, sliding door, special shapes and sizes, Dover does it. For all your door needs, installation or service, trust the experts. We've been delivering quality for over 80 years. Dover does it.
I work in nursing home, I work in the restaurant, and I own my own food truck. And I bank with Huntington. I used to always look at that sign, come on, own your own home. So one day I just said, okay, I'm gonna go talk to the banker. And he didn't tell me, no, it's not possible. He told me anything was possible. And that made me feel good. Hi, I'm Veronica, and this is my banker, Roger. He's awesome. He's a good guy.
Back here at Atwood Stadium on the campus of Kettering University, a full-time result for Minnesota Aurora, 1-0 victory over Chicago City SC. The stats on your screen now, and Lexi, those are just whopping statistics.
Some of the most unbalanced stats I've ever seen, and just insane for Minnesota to get 28 shots, just one on the board, a goal made, 16 shots on target, 6 corners. Pretty crazy game for Minnesota. Honestly, even though they dominated possession, dominated shots, it wasn't their best game. They're used to scoring a lot. They're a prolific scoring team, but it's good for Minnesota to get this type of thing out of their system so that they're ready for Saturday, able to capitalize on some more of the opportunities that they had.
A scoreline that will not reflect the dominant nature of Minnesota's play. Outpossessed Chicago City, spent majority of the 90 minutes attacking on the Chicago end of things. And with the 1-0 win, Minnesota improves to 13-0-0 on the season. They are through to Saturday's quarter-final round, where they await the winner of tonight's match between Flint City AFC, the hosts, and Indy 11, the champions out of the Valley Division. We'll head back to break here. Minnesota wins it 1-0 over Chicago City.
How much can you save when you shop Cub? Let's just say you might need a bigger cart. We've lowered prices so you save more. On Essential Every Day, it's easy to see the savings. Across the aisles, from pantry products to frozen foods to delicious dairy and more. Your family will love it, guaranteed, or your money back. Shop Cub and save today. My Cub, my way. See store for details.
How did we get there? Not to that place, but to that space in time. They say you are all the ages you've ever been. It is these precious, fleeting experiences, weekend getaways or long summer trips, experienced together. Travel that replaces words with images, feelings, senses that shape us and make us who we are. Explore Minnesota.
Twin Cities Orthopedics is ready to go with more doctors, specialty services, and convenient urgent care locations. Ready, set, TC.
Back here inside Atwood Stadium, Minnesota Aurora wins it 1-0 over division foes Chicago City SC. Aurora opens the 2023 USLW playoffs with a win. They are the first team to move through to the quarterfinal round. Before we wrap up, Lexi, your thoughts on what was, although not a high-scoring performance, a dominant performance nonetheless for Minnesota?
Well, I tell you what, Minnesota's head coach, Nicole Lukic, she knows what she's doing. 2022 USLW Coach of the Year, United Soccer Coaches 30 under 30. She had this mapped out. She wanted to put Chicago City away early, and though it didn't play out that way, her team held strong. They dominated the game, even though the score won't display that. It was a great game for Minnesota. They're going to leave this one on a high note to head into Saturday.
Minnesota improves to 13-0-0 and now 3-1-0 all-time in the USLW playoffs. For Lexi Ayala and our producer, Jonathan Turner, I'm Jake Griffith saying so long from Atwood Stadium on the campus of Kettering University. Minnesota is through to Saturday's conference championship final. Be sure to tune in to the Michigan Soccer Network at 3 p.m. Eastern Time. And thanks for watching today.